everybody. My name is Eric Hallee. I'm the president here at Chase Custom Homes here in Westbrook, Maine at 290 Bridgeton Road. Welcome. Last week we did a video series on the price per square foot to build a home. And it's been asked of us to take this topic and expand it to a deeper explanation of why in fact it costs different price points per square foot. It's a question we get asked very often in the business as a quick reference point to somebody's size of home. They want to know how much it costs to build. So to answer that question is a little bit tough in this business with today's product mixes. So I'm going to go through some things and give you some live examples as to why it does cost what it costs per square foot. Now, I had used an analogy last week about 2 bags of groceries. It's a quick, simple analogy that we use to give good reference points. Bag A is a home and bag B is a home. Depending on what we fill each bag of grocery into each bag with the groceries, it'll determine the price point. So these specific products that I'm now going to go and talk about will show you those differences in each bag, okay? So when we're building a home, there's several factors, as I said. One is land selection, and one of the most important, because where do you live, right? Everybody has a preference where they want to live, the school system they're going to go to, the amount of acres they want to be on. So land selection, and then some subsections to this. The price of the land matters very much. That's probably the biggest thing that we need to discuss. Then we talk about, when we go to do the site check at the property, we talk about the length of the driveway to the building envelope. The building envelope sometimes can be way, way back into the property, sometimes just right up on the road. So it really matters where we're setting the home as to how far and how much cost in gravel to get to where we need to be. We also talk about location of power. Power poles by Central Maine Power in most cases, depending on the town. Now, if you're in Kennebunk, it could be Kennebunk Power and Light, but most of us deal with Central Maine Power up here in the the Southern Maine area. So the location of power is very important because if you have to set a pole, or if you have to bring a transformer in, depending on the subdivision, and your house lot is sitting farther back, it will matter as to the cost to get to the site. Now, back about, I'm going to say 10 years ago, maybe even 8 years ago, Central Maine Power used to give you one pole for free. That has now changed, and any pole from pole 1 to whatever's needed is an expense, and it can get a little bit pricey. So again, talking about square foot topic here, it eschews the price per square foot. Talking about soil conditions of the property, the septic and the fill requirements. Now, soil conditions matter a lot because it determines on, if it is a septic site, it depends on how much fill we may need to be in compliance with a soil scientist analysis, or it might be a system where we can dig it right in the ground. Sometimes it's a stone bed, sometimes it's a proprietary device with chambers. Chambers are more expensive. So again, per square foot, it will increase or decrease based on the type of soil. If we have ledge on a property, it matters because ledge has to be, in most cases, blasted so that the house can be dug and put at the right grade. Also, erosion control. Some sites are very sloping, have a large hill. We have to put erosion control down at the bottom of the hill. If we're near the water, that changes as well. The size of the foundation, very, very important here. Drainage and backfill. The way Chase Custom Homes builds a home is that we have drainage inside and outside the footer. So there's 2 sets of pipes going inside and outside to an outfall to the lowest point on the property. Depending on the size of that foundation, and again, comparing price per square foot, more pipe equals more expense. And stone. We stone our floors, not sand in our floors. How much clearing? Loam and seed. When you clear a lot beyond a normal building envelope, our normal building envelope, as is most builders, is about 30 feet to 35 feet. If you're getting out to a 50, 60 foot backyard, you could very much experience more expense, more tree cutting, more loam and seed necessary to make the lot what you want. Now we get back into a different topic, but still on the per square foot expense here, is the design of a home, okay? 1-story versus 2-story. It's very much less expensive to build up instead of out. When you build out, you have more expense in your foundation. It costs more in concrete than it does in wood to go up. You have more drainage, you have more stone in the floor, like we just talked about in the clearing envelope. Complex framing versus square box framing. Complex framing, where you have angles and multiple roof lines, that's going to be a lot more expensive versus a square box house. So we look at that as a square foot difference as well, because of the material and the labor both. Talking about framing, trusses versus rafters. A truss roof is a lot quicker and easier to install versus a rafter roof, which is more hand installed piece by piece. A truss is set into place with a crane or a boom truck, and it's very quick to set those in a square box environment. So therefore, again, square versus complex framing, a truss roof gives you a much faster installation versus a complex roof frame. Let's talk a little bit about staging. If you have a vaulted ceiling in your house versus a flat ceiling in your house. Guys have to be on staging. It's a little more expensive to move the staging, to get up in the staging. You'll work slower on staging, so therefore, again, the price per square foot is skewed based on that type of product needed. Talking about now the amenities within the home and on the outside of the home. This is where your largest percentage of square foot dollars between the 2 bags of groceries is going to come into play, the amenities. It's what we put in the bags, as I was saying. The bags of groceries are the products, the amenities in this case. Cabinets, are they painted or are they stained? If you use a painted cabinet, generally you're going to be experiencing about a 15% increase in the cost of the cabinet versus a stained cabinet. What brand of cabinet also comes into play? Wood versus particle board, dovetail drawers versus staple drawers, soft close, not soft close, okay? All that does play into the cost of the cabinet, hence the square foot price. Talking about countertops, for Mica tops versus granite. Granite, as you guys mostly can experience, is a lot more expensive than Formica. It's a real stone. It costs more to fabricate it. Formica has more color choices, easier to install, installed by us, the builder. If it's granite, it's installed by the actual supplier and fabricator of the granite. Flooring, big item here per square foot difference. Carpet and linoleum versus hardwood and tile. Hardwood and tile, more expense in the labor and the product both. You have more things to deal with. You have grout with tile. You have cement board with the tile. Has to be glued and screwed to be done properly. You have cement board versus plywood. We use cement board because when you match up to hardwood, you get a flat floor instead of the need for a threshold. Talking about hardwood stairs or carpeted stair. Those are a big expense item. Carpeted stairs are much easier, much quicker in expense. Hardwood stairs, more finish time, more labor involved. And then you've got the finishing of the painter to stain them and paint the skirt boards. Brand of windows. This is something in construction today that there's a lot of choices out there. We at Chase Custom Homes give you plenty of choices, so we talk about the need for wood versus vinyl. Wood windows, for example, an Anderson window, much more expensive per unit than a vinyl window. For example, Paradigm that we use, main-built window. So when you talk wood versus vinyl, that increases your square foot. We ask the customer what's important to them. Siding type. The 3 common types are wood siding, like clapboards or cedar shakes, cement siding, or vinyl siding. And then to take that a little deeper on the vinyl siding, because it does matter again, going further into the square foot price, 3 different thicknesses of siding come into play. A .040, a .042, and a .046. A .046, for example, is the Certainty brand of monogram siding, which is a very high-end product. We use that product, we use the Main Street product. Those are .042. And very rarely do we use a .040. It isn't worth it. Roofing, shingles versus metal, or standing seam metal. That all matters and plays into the square foot price. Shingles are the most common thing that we apply today to a roof because of cost. Metal is becoming increasingly popular when budgets allow. Then we talk about, of all these things, probably, again, breaking it down further, the single most thing that creates a square foot difference. Finish work details. For example, casing and base, the sizes of the casing and base. We at Chase Custom Homes like to use a standard product that's 3.5 inches wide, like this casing over here. I'm not sure if you can see it, so I'm not going to move the camera, but then you've got the baseboard, which is 5 1/4 instead of 3.5. So 2.5, 3.5 versus 3.5, 5.5. We use the 3.5, 5.5. It attributes more cost per square foot though. The crown molding in a room. Some people want crown molding as a dress up to their dining room or to the entire first floor or second floor of their home. Again, it's a supplement, it's an upgrade, it's something that would add cost per square foot. Chair rail, wainscoting, another thing in finish work that adds money. Maybe some dining room panels come into play. Then you get into painting and staining the trim. There's a difference there between cost less expensive, it's less expensive, excuse me, to paint versus stain. So today, thank you for listening. What I've tried to do today is take the bag of groceries analogy, which is a very simple analogy. We've been asked to expand upon that to these types of topics as to why does it cost more per square foot or less per square foot, and why is it a difficult question to answer ultimately. These are some of the again, we could expand much, much deeper. I welcome you to give us a call here at Chase Custom Homes and Finance, Inc. at 207-892-2700. And we're here to help. So again, thank you very much. It's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Have a safe trip. Bye-bye.